Good Monday morning, everyone. This is Linda with Bedtime Bible Chat. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to be on screen today, but it's not about me. We are in Proverbs 11 still, and we're lucky enough to be able to take 4 verses today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 verses. Let's see, 16 through 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 verses. Okay. Because they all relate, and the example that I'll be giving you a 1 Samuel 25 example that you might remember from our study years ago in 1 Samuel, but I'll refresh your memory. Well, let's read this and then we'll get started. In Proverbs 11, starting with verse 16, a kind-hearted woman gains honor, but ruthless men gain only wealth. Now, kind-hearted is really a gracious woman who is shows grace and mercy, that type of kind-heartedness. Verse 17, those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin on themselves. A wicked person earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. That was verse 18. Verse 19, truly the righteous attain life, but whoever pursues evil finds death. Verse 20, the Lord detests those whose hearts are perverse, but he delights in those whose ways are blameless. And lastly, verse 21, be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. That verse we have to cling to, don't we? The wicked will not go unpunished. Well, all of these verses really bring out the story, or the account, I should say, in 1 Samuel 25. To refresh your memory, this is about David, Nabal, and Abigail. Now, Nabal his name means fool, and he acted like a fool this whole life, but he was filthy rich. He had thousands of sheep, 10,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. He was very rich. Well, David and his men in the hundreds, they were protecting the rich people's sheep to keep animals from attacking them and keep them from being stolen. And they ran out of food. So they went up to Nabal and asked for food. Well, Nabal, being the fool that he is, he chastised them and sent them on their way without any food. Well, when David's men came back and told David about this, David said, all right, guys, let's go. We're gonna show him a thing or two. So he armors up his men and he's getting ready to go and kill Nabal and all of his men so that his men can eat. Well, Abigail is Nabal's wife, and Abigail was a gracious, kind woman. One of her servants came and told Abigail about how great David and his men had protected the sheep, and there had been no problems at all because of David and his men protecting them. But Nabal wouldn't give them any food. Well, Abigail, being the smart lady she was, she knew that this was wrong. So she bundled up all kinds of provisions and personally took them to David. And she met up with David and his men about the time they were leaving to go slaughter Nabal and his men. Well, Abigail, and if you read the account here, she was so gracious and um, just in the way that she talked to David, she was honoring David and letting him know that, her husband Nabal was a fool, just like his name means, and she wanted to please ask forgiveness and please take all of these provisions. Well, it's a long accounting here of it, but I don't want to have to read it. But you can reread it. But the way she put everything was so wonderful. And David was very taken by her graciousness, her intelligence, her humbleness. I mean, he was just very taken with her. And so he thanked her for the provisions. Well, when she got back to the house, Nabal was having this major feast like he was some king, and he was really drunk. So she didn't tell him what she had done and had taken food to David until the next day. Well, when she told him the next day when he was sober, Nabal was like so shocked that he just went into a stupor. He didn't know what to do. I think the scripture says that he was stone faced or something of that nature. Well, anyway, so it shocked him so bad that in about a week he had a heart attack and died. Well, when David found out, David sent his servant to Abigail and asked Abigail to come to him and be his wife. And she did gladly. Well, now let me explain how all of that works. When a woman back in those days is widowed, she doesn't have anything. Her husband is her only way of living. She doesn't get anything like an inheritance or nothing like that. So she was really left out to hang out dry. She was probably going to end up dead at some point in time, because how would she be able to take care of herself? Well, so when David saw how gracious she was and how smart she was, he took her as his wife. And now she was blessed for her righteousness, her kindness, her graciousness. And this is what our scripture is talking about. She was righteous, she was gracious. Her husband, Nabal, was the fool. He was wicked and deceptive, and he was the one that found death, verse 19. But whosoever pursues evil finds death. He found death. Death found him real quick. So the point of these pieces of the story in First Samuel, and how it relates to the Proverbs 11:16 through 21 is, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. Kindness don't cost you a dime. Mercy doesn't cost you anything. You will be blessed in a big way when you are kind and merciful and humble. But if you work for only the money, like so many people do in this world today, you might find out that money is going to be the millstone around your neck. And when it's time for you to die, your judgment will be very harsh because you did not use your riches to help others. Just like with Nepal, he did not use his riches to help David and his men who were protecting his sheep and his goats. He didn't even bother to take care of the men that was helping him. So kindness and mercy brings big rewards. So don't forget to remember, not everybody was blessed with riches or money, but everyone was given the ability to be kind. Everyone was given the ability to be merciful. It's up to you to use it or to throw it out. But when you throw out kindness and mercy, then you're going to reap the rewards, which is death. So that's our lesson today. Don't forget now to commune with the Lord. There is so many Nepals out there, isn't it? So many who worship their money and who do not try to help others. These mega rich people, they give to foundations that enrich themselves. They give to charities to get tax breaks. And those charities are usually somehow or another owned by them anyway, so the money comes back to them even though they gave it. It's all a Ponzi scheme. They aren't really helping anybody. They're just putting the money out there, taking a tax break for it, and they end up getting their money back anyway, plus the tax break. So you can't take this money with you. So when you're communing with the Lord, if you're financially able, ask the Lord, what can I do to help somebody? Tell me somebody that I can help, Lord. If I don't feel like I know anybody that I can help, you lead me to someone. Ask him that when you're praying and when you're communing with the Lord. Okay, guys, there you have it. I'm sorry that this was the best I can do today. I'm doing good talking it all, so I hope to see you tomorrow on Bedtime Bible Chat, if the Lord's willing.